Good evening, everyone. This is Darla Tweeten. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Iowa. And I come to you live every Tuesday night at, every other Tuesday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Daylight Savings Time. So tonight, I hope everybody is enjoying this cooler weather. We are having temperatures in the 60s and such. I'm going to check my computer here and make sure that I have the proper orientation before we get started on this live. I'm pulling up the Tweet Be Happy Facebook page. And I hope you guys are familiar with this business page. I have a business page called Tweet Be Happy. And on this page, you will find various things. You will find out what my schedule is for the next quarter anyway. I know right now, I think it's through the third quarter of 2025, and I need to be adding in the fourth quarter of 2025. Can you believe that it is already time to be thinking about October, November, and December? But that's okay. We're ready to face it, aren't we, you guys? We're ready to get creative with our paper crafting. We are ready to enjoy the holidays and the change of seasons. Here in Iowa, we have a lovely change of season when it goes from summer to fall. I feel very fortunate that we do have the 4 seasons where we live. I am married to a farmer. Those of you that do not know that, my husband is a row crop farmer. We have corn and soybeans. So talk about changes. Our crops are really starting to dry, which is a good thing. We usually begin the harvest in September, late September, October, go strong, and then hopefully finish up by Thanksgiving. So I want to tell you just a cute little thing of trivia. I do have a, hi Carrie, hi little monkeys. I do have, we do have our youngest son that has a birthday in September. And I also have a grandson now that has a birthday in September. Don't we, Colt? Yes, just a few days away, September 2nd. But my youngest son, or our youngest son, his birthday was in September. And you know how kids are always excited for their birthday to come. And I know, Colt, you're getting excited, aren't you? So Grandma's going to have to think about some change of nature that you can be watching for to know how many days away your birthday is. But when your daddy was little, we used to tell him that when the corn turns brown, that's about time for your birthday. So, and I wish I had a picture of our crops. I'll have to maybe post one, but the corn is pretty green right now. So with this being August 26th, and with his birthday being, September 17th, the corn can dry down that fast. It's Mother Nature's way of preparing our crops for harvest. It's no different than our trees. It's no different than the gardens. I know my sister pulled her cucumber plants the other day. They were all done. Obviously I got mine in probably about a month later than she did because mine are still producing. The other day, my sister and I, we picked about 10 cucumbers. So We made 4 batches of refrigerator pickles, and we've really been enjoying the cucumbers. So I know you're not here to hear about the fall changes or my garden. I know you're here to learn some more about stamping. And I hope I can do that, because tonight we're going to talk about the paper pumpkin kits and the other kits that Stampin' Up! Has on their products. Now, I believe in the paper pumpkin subscription. It is something that is it's a good starter kit that you can begin with. It's about $27 a month, and it will come to your home automatically every month. Mine comes around the 17th or the 20th. You want to be sure. And good evening, Peggy. Good evening, Aunt Linda. Thank you for joining in. I appreciate all you guys' support. Back to Paper Pumpkin. It comes in the prettiest little red box. I'll be showing you that box. And the other day, Aunt Linda came over and had coffee with me. I guess it was just yesterday, Linda, wasn't it? Seems like it was longer ago than that. But anyway, she watched me put this kit together. So, I appreciated her letting me multitask. So let's turn the camera down. And close your eyes if you get dizzy. But I will be turning the camera down. You're going to see my beautiful storage of ink pads. So I'm going to be adjusting my Acron stand now so that you can see my work surface. So I think I need to tighten this one up just a little bit. It's gonna, okay, there we go. So this is the page right out of the annual catalog. It's page 140, and it's of the annual catalog. Clear to the back, 140. With the Paper Pumpkin subscription, the neat thing about this is it has its own perks. When you become a subscriber, you not only get to have this monthly kit automatically mailed to you, but you also get an occasional free gift. I know in the kit that we're going to be working on tonight, which is August, which is the Farmhouse Florals, it has an extra stamp set in it. So that's what they do occasionally, is give us free gifts. Also, for the $27, that includes shipping. So you don't have to worry about an additional cost. There is also an engaging community. There's a Paper Pumpkin Facebook group that you can join. They also have a website. You can go on to their community. It's engaging. You can watch past videos. You can watch current videos of the existing current month's kit. The really cool thing that I like about it is I like surprises. So when you do subscribe to the Paper Pumpkin kit, you will not know what you're getting. They may give you a few little hints, but for the most part, you will not know what's coming in the kit. But I can tell you, in all honesty, the many, many years that I have been a Paper Pumpkin subscription, there has not been many times that I have not appreciated the kit. Now, as I have become more experienced in stamping, I have discovered that if the kit is to make like little boxes, for example, or maybe little bags or something like that, they too can be made into a card. There's always alternatives that you can make. You can follow the illustrations exactly like they are, or you can do alternatives. there is also just a couple more perks when you subscribe, and you get all the perks. If you want to, you can do the pay as go feature, which is the $27, or you can do the prepay options and save a few dollars with the more months that you do purchase. So also you have access to past kits and past refills, which is really super. I know I saw today that for $13 you can get the refill of this Farmhouse Florals, and I am considering it. It is a beauty. Then also, besides, there's exclusive add-on products too. There's coordinating dies that you can purchase on a quarterly basis for a Paper Pumpkin subscription. Okay, well, for those of you that are just joining me, hello, Sister Cindy, thank you for joining me. For those of you that are just joining or joined after I started and introduced myself, this is Darla Tweeten. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Iowa, and my passion is paper crafting. And this week on tonight's live, we're going to be talking about the Paper Pumpkin Kit. So I'm going to put my catalog aside for right now, and I am going to bring you on camera this beautiful box that I get every month in the mail. It's automatically shipped. I do get a glimpse of what possibly it could be, and if you choose not to, you can opt out for that month and then get it the next month. This Paper Pumpkin Kit, it costs $27, and this month's August 2023 was the Farmhouse Florals. So when you open this, it comes in plastic, so if during the winter or, spring or whatever, if it's moisture, it's pretty well protected. Plus, all the contents of this inside of here is also wrapped in plastic. So these are a few of the cards that I made yesterday while having coffee with Aunt Linda. You can see here, it's an old-fashioned typewriter. It's up on dimensions, and the inside, you stamp it with the cloud cover, and so the little piece of paper is slit in the typewriter, just a note to say thank you. So that's one of the cards that I made yesterday. I like to practice the cards before I come on and do the lives. Now, I'm not really sure yet which one's my favorite, and I want you guys to tell me which ones you like the best. This is a vertical card, and you can see where the second layer is a die cut that looks like we're looking out a window, kind of, doesn't it? So it has dimensionals on it, so it is raised up. It's not flat. And on the inside, so this is a thank you card, and on the inside it says, "You are loved." That was another card that Aunt Linda and I did yesterday. I do believe this is probably going to be my favorite card. It is like a purse that has a little label on it that says "For You," and then inside it says, "Good friends are hard to find. I'm so glad we found each other." Oh, isn't that wonderful? The front of this had little die cut flowers that you put dimensionals on, and then you raise those up. And so there's raised flowers, these two right here, this one and this one. Even the purse, there's another purse on the back, on the flat side, or on the card base, and then you put dimensionals on this purse and the handle, tied the knot. So I believe this is my favorite one. So those are the three cards that you can make of 9 cards from this kit. So when you get this kit, it will come wrapped in plastic, like I said, and it will come something like this. The directions look like this. So you have a sample of what the finished 3 cards will look like. It also includes the envelopes. So when you begin creating the cards, you will like look at card number 1 and you will put that particular flower stamp on the acrylic black that comes with this kit. Each paper pumpkin kit does come with an acrylic black. Now, if you buy our other kits of Stampin' Up, they do not come with blacks. And that's how they can control the cost a little bit better. So what you would do is you would take your ink spot. This is what, these acrylic blocks, of course, are not included in the kit. I will take those out. What is included is another block, and I'm not sure where that block is right now. And then also what's included is this ink spot here. And I save my ink spots and I use my regular, ink pads so that it's easier for me. It's a bigger surface. But I save these so when I travel, I can take these with. And remember, when you store these, you want to store them upside down. You want the ink pads to be on the top, or you want them to be downward. Okay, so there is, so all of these parts for these cards come with the kit, like I said. So let's go ahead and let's put one of the cards together so that you can see what I mean. And the card that we are going to put together is going to be this window card right here, this thank you card. So what we need to do is I need to make room on my surface here, and I have already put the stamps on my acrylic blocks that I'm going to need for this card. I have also sorted out all of my parts. So like this makes 3 cards. So what I do is I take the card stack and okay, so and then we're gonna need one of the window pieces. This is already done, it's a die cut. And then we will need a sentiment tag. Stampin' Up is really good about providing extra pieces. So if you make a boo-boo when you're stamping, you have another piece. Plus, you can make some additional cards with their product. You could also turn it over and use the back if you wanted to. And then here is the coordinating envelope that is included. Hello, Luann. Thank you for watching me tonight. I appreciate you joining me. I am showing you the paper pumpkin kit, the August kit that I got in the mail a few days ago. This is a kit that it is a subscription. So what you do is you would subscribe to it, and then it would be automatically shipped to you with everything that you needed to do to create, like in this month, the 9 cards. So the first thing we needed to do was I was looking for my my stamps. Remember I told you one of the perks of being a Paper Pumpkin subscription is they occasionally will send you an extra stamp set. Yep, they sure did. Normally, we only get 1 stamp set. This time, we got 2. And we aren't going to be using any of these, the extra stamp sets tonight. We are only going to be using the ones that they have shown in these directions here. So what I've done is I have pulled off this photopolymer stamp set from here, and I have put it on an acrylic black. You will want to make sure that you put the flat side of the stamp down on your acrylic black, because obviously the indentions and things and stuff, you want to have, that's the part you're going to stamp. So we're going to open up our ink pad. And if the grandsons are still watching, you do know, or they know, that when you go to ink up your stamp, you want to press lightly into the ink pad. So you want to do 1, 2, 3 times, and then you kind of look at it, and it looks like I didn't have it level. So on here it says to stamp, on the inside we want to stamp this stamp 2 times. So we're going to go ahead and go straight down and straight up. Stamp it again into the ink pad, 1, 2, 3. And if you notice, the stem on the instructions is going to the right this time. So let's go ahead, and before I do that one though, I'm going to do the You Are Loved, just to make sure that I get it in, you know, that I don't crowd it, okay? So I have put the You Are Loved on an acrylic acrylic block that can be purchased separate. It's not the one that comes in the kit. The one that comes in the kit is about this size, and it's about half the thickness of this. So let's go ahead and very carefully go straight down, hold it for just a little bit so that the ink is, you know, onto the cardstock, and then take your chamois and clean your block off. Now this is just a chamois with water on it, no chemicals or anything like that. And you can purchase these chamois also in my online store. I highly recommend that you clean your blocks as you go. So let's go ahead and stamp this other branch. And I do know that I've already stamped it, but because it's sat there for just a little bit, I want to make sure that you know, it's pretty moist. So there we are. That's the inside of our card, which is this first step here on card number 1. Okay, I'm reaching over, grabbing my chamois. These chamois do not come in a case. This is just like a stamp case that you would put your normal stamps in. So I just, I purchased, I think you can get 4 of them in a set. And then I put my chamois in there, and then you don't have to, and then I clip it shut. This will not mold. I've never had it mold, but I will have it dry out if I don't, you know, snap it each time. Okay, so let's go to step number 2 is to fold it, which we have already folded it. Grab your bone folder, which again is not included in your kit, but it is in, those of you that come to stamp with me at my classes, I do sell these adhesive kits, and inside of the adhesive kit is a bone folder. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have a nice crease on your card and that it will lay flat. So I still have my ink pot open, which is very dangerous. I don't recommend leaving it open like that, but I do have it open. So the next thing is to take the stars that came on our stamp set, put them on the block, and they want us to stamp it into the ink spot. Now, remember, if you don't have a regular size ink pad, you don't need it because you get this ink spot with your kit. So what I would recommend doing, this flips open, and then you know how I go like this right now? I would recommend that you take your ink spot and you go like this, you know, to ink it up. Just a lot easier. Just a little tip. Okay, so it looks like it wants us to stamp several rows of those stars onto the front of the card. And I need to protect my work surface here. I am working on a glass mat, which is very nice to be working on. But when I do live videos, I don't want you guys to be having to look at an inky glass mat. So I will put a piece of scratch paper underneath of here, and also that's also just to keep my arms and my fingers free of, you know, any ink that might be left on the glass mat. So we're going to want, it looks like you just randomly stamp it onto the card. And I might have stamped it a little bit higher. That's okay. On my original one, I stamped it closer to the bottom, and I am going to do that as I look at it, because you can see where it comes down pretty far. So, you know what? This is our card, and we can do things the way we want, can't we? So again, Luann, thank you for watching me tonight. I appreciate it. I don't know if you have ever caught me live before. I think it's exciting that you're watching me. I am cleaning this again when I finish with it onto the chamois. Then it looks like it wants us to take the thank you, put it, ink that up, and then stamp it onto this little piece of paper, okay? Now, that isn't hard to do. Don't freak out about it. You can do practices of this. Let's see. I need to find thank you. I found, okay. The other card that I did earlier, it has to say on top of the thank you. So I am going to take that off for right now, and I'm going to put that back on to my stamps that we got in the kit. And what I try to do, my OCD kind of kicks in. Luann, you can remember this. It looks like my to say needs to go right there. So what I will do is I will just kind of sit it right there, and then it's safe. It's not going to fall off. So you gotta stay organized. It's very easy to lose those little pieces. Okay, getting back to this, I have the thank you now. And you can, I highly recommend that when you do the larger ink pads, that you just kind of stamp the thank you on the end. You can do it in the middle, but why take the chance of getting too much ink on your acrylic block when you can just do it on the edge? Okay, so you go straight down. It looks like it wants us to stay in the green area. So I will go something like this, hold it there for a little bit, and here is the thank you on this little tiny little piece of cardstock. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to clean our blocks so that we have that process done. It looks like we are done with the ink pad, so I'm going to go ahead and close this up, put it away. This is Secret C. Secret C is one of the new ink colors, and right now, let me do a little bit shameless plug. For the month of August, we are having a 15% off any product that has one of the new ink colors in it. So if you have not purchased your regular ink pads yet, this would be a perfect time to do that. You would save 15%. Now keep in mind, you cannot purchase the cloud cover, because when the cloud cover was manufactured, the quality of the ink doesn't always match up to Stampin' Up's, quality control. So then you have to buy a refill of that, or buy a little Stampin' Spot. Okay, so that's the ink colors. They are beautiful. I have so enjoyed these. We have ink colors that will be around for 2 years. So these are for 2025 through 2027. So I highly advise, I told my team the other day when they were here on Friday, I highly advise them to purchase the refills right now, because they're 15% off too. Anything that contains an in color, whether it's DSP, cardstock, or whatever, you will save 15% on that. Okay, let's get back to putting our card together. We finished step number 3. We are on step number 4. And step number 4, they want you to take the die cut, and remember they included some dimensionals. Well, if you look here, I will use my Take Your Pick tool. This is my favorite tool. Highly recommend this tool. But if you look at this, they put dimensionals in the 4 corners and then 1 in the middle. And then they put 2 on the thank you. And notice that it's on the straight side, not the colored side. That's because, do you know why that is? That's because when you put this thank you on, the dimensionals will be on the card base. But because the second layer is up on dimensionals, you don't want to have, you want that to be flat. So that's why you got the dimensionals here and there's nothing here. I did put a glue dot there because I wanted it to stay in place. Okay, so these are mini dimensionals, and they are double-sided adhesives. So when you pull them off the sheet that they're attached to obviously is sticky, but there is a backing on there that you'll need to pull off. So we put the 5 dimensionals on there, and now they want us to put 2 dimensionals on the thank you sentiment, okay? So I don't have nails, so what I do is I do this Take Your Pick tool, and I will pick off the backs of the dimensionals, and then I will just throw them right into the trash can. So all of the backings are right here. If you don't intentionally throw them away, you will find them everywhere in your house. I find them on our dog. I find them inside of my clothes. I find them on my hair, in my hair. Find them on my carpeting, and it's just kind of silly. So anyway, so after you have taken those off, you're going to want to adhere it to your card. And let me get this scrap paper off here. So you're going to want to do something like this. Kind of center it. Visually look at all of the sides to make sure that it's centered. And then this little thank you here, it will just be placed right there. What do you think? That is, and then like I told you, they don't suggest it, but I don't want that, kind of, being wiggly like that. So what I'll do is I'll take a glue dot and I will just put it underneath of there, and then I know that it is going to stay where it needs to stay. So that would be the first card that we have made with this Farmhouse Florals paper pumpkin kit. Unfortunately, you cannot purchase this kit because you have until the 10th of each month, and then they process your payment on the 11th, and then you will get the kit in the mail around the 17th or the 20th, depending upon, the mail service. But once you subscribe, you are eligible for all of those perks that we talked about earlier. So I could go online and buy only the consumables of this kit right now, which would be called the refill. So here's the coordinating envelope, and this card is ready to be sent to someone that you need to send a thank you to. So let's go ahead and do, it's about 8:30. Let's go ahead and do this card. Who has typed with a manual typewriter? Yep, I have. I used whiteout. Who remembers what whiteout is? Where you made a mistake and you had to backspace on the whiteout and get it all straightened up. So let's go ahead and make this card here. So this is actually card number 3 on the instructions. And so, like I told you, they're fully illustrated. You don't read, you just follow the pictures. Another neat thing that I need to tell you about is that to get started, it shows you what came in your kit. It also shows you the coordinating Stampin' Up colors. So tonight we've been using Calypso Coral colors, Darling Duckling, Gray Granite, Lost Lagoon, Pecan Pie, and Secret Sea. And do you remember I told you that there were some add-ons that you could add to these paper pumpkins? You can do this. Keep the crafting party going. So you can purchase these little dies, and you can die cut a hello. Look at this cute little acorn. And then there's some leaves and a circle. So let's go back to our card number 3. And let's put that one together. It shouldn't take us real long. So I apologize if you're thinking this is getting too long. I will try and hurry through this. Let me find the contents for this card. They are right here. Like I told you earlier, I sorted all the parts and pieces out according to the card. So here is the coordinating envelope that goes with this card. And here is the card base. And I will need a typewriter, and then I will need some of these cute little darling flowers. So it looks like I need only 3 flowers. I need there should be a little piece of paper here. Maybe let me look in this kit again to see if where that little piece of paper went. I'm not seeing it right now. I'm not sure where that little piece of paper went. Here it is. Look at this little piece of paper. No wonder I couldn't find it, okay? Look at this cute little paper. They've got a slit here in the typewriter, so it looks like you have typed the words, just a note. Isn't that darling? So let's put these back in here for the next card. Now you can see here, if you wanted to, you could use this typewriter and these flowers for another card, because as you can see, we're covering them up. So, but I think it's cool when we cover them up. It gives them dimension. So let's go ahead, and the inside of this card is real similar to the other one. It wants us to, now this card is horizontal. It wants us to stamp on the card those leaves again. So let's go ahead, open up our ink pad, and let's find our flower. Here it is. So let's go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, and you'd stamp it something like that. And again, to make sure that I have room for the to say thank you, I have to find my thank you stamp, and here it is. And then I've got to find the to say. Does anybody remember where? Oh, I put the to say back on the plastic, didn't I? Good job, Darla. So go ahead and pull that off. And then that's one of the beauties of this glass mat is it has lines on it. So go ahead and lay your little tiny stamp on a line, and then take your stamp and press down on it. So now, rather than just saying thank you, it's going to say to say, okay? So let's go ahead and stamp that up. How many times do we stamp it? 1, 2, 3, okay? And then you go straight down on your card, hold it there for just a little bit, and then lift straight up. The reason I want you to lift straight up is so that you don't, make it blurry or streaky or whatever. Then it says to stamp another one down below, another flower branch, whatever you want to call it. So, and it's going to be something like this. Now, if you're somebody that likes to say a lot, obviously you're going to want to kind of squeeze that together so that you have more room. Or if you would like, which I have done this before, you've got this part up here and you've also got the back part. So do it the way you want to. Okay. So we've done step 1. Now let's go step 2. Looks like we fold it, and then the step 3 is to put some more of those stars on top of the typewriter. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, and you just randomly stamp on top of the typewriter. And obviously, you know, you don't have to be real careful. Now, I don't know what happened there, but I didn't have it flat and it didn't stamp totally. Now, that doesn't bother me. When I first started stamping, that would probably really bother me that it wasn't perfect. But you know what? Whose card is perfect? Whose life is perfect? It's okay. Go with it. Let it be okay. So the next step is to on that little sheet of paper, you want to stamp just a note. So let's find the just a note. Let's see here. You are loved. Just a note. Here's the just a note. Again, stamp close to the edge of your pad. 2, 3, and then when it comes to you know, stamping on this little piece of typewriter paper, it looks like you kind of want to be in the middle of centered, but yet kind of towards the top. So I think I'm off the thing, aren't I? So you want to be a little bit, so I'm going to line it up straight there, and because I can't really see well, we'll do something like that. So there it is, just a note. Isn't that cute? Just a cute little touch. Okay, it looks like we are done with our ink pad. So let's go ahead and close that up so we don't have any issues. And let's start putting the card together. It looks like we need to put 4 dimensionals on the typewriter and 2 on the little piece of typing paper. Okay, here's my little dimensionals. There again, these are they're not real sticky, but they are sticky. So, but it's because they raise it up, they give it some dimension. That's the name dimensionals. Excuse me a minute. Let me take a drink of water. So tonight I am introducing to you again the monthly Paper Pumpkin subscription. It is an excellent way to get started with stamping. It builds an inventory for you of different ink spots. It gives you the opportunity to kind of discover whether or not you like the paper crafting, you know, project. It also, I love it because it gives us advance notice of what might be coming down the turnpike. Like this farmhouse floral, it is so trendy right now, isn't it? That you know, farmhouse decorations and things like that. So okay, so it shows us to put this typewriter right on top of the other one, but and I did that, but it's kind of neat that you can see the background of the original one that's been stamped. And then it tells us to slit it in here, and if you remember right, we had the dimensions towards the top of the just a note. So it actually is raised above, and it looks like it's coming out of the typewriter, just a note. Okay, it wants us to finish this card up by putting dimensionals on the back of these flowers. So let's go ahead and do that. They use 2 dimensionals on the one that has a longer green stem on it that looks something like this. So we'll do 2 dimensions. And then on the other 2 gold flowers, they want us to put dimensionals like kind of in the middle of the flower. Okay, something like that. I always, you know, kind of press them down to make sure that my card is not going to fall apart. Take your pick tool and take the backings off of the dimensionals. These are mini dimensionals. These are not the regular dimensionals. They're using the mini this time because obviously the flowers are mini. So what we're going to need to do then, it looks like this flower right here kind of sits on top of that just a note paper, something like that. These other gold flowers go to the right of that same paper. And if you look real close, you can see there's yellow flowers underneath of it. So it's just kind of a shadow effect. So there is our second card tonight. What do you think? Just a note. Do you have somebody that you know you would like to send this to? That's the best part. I'm always needing to send thank you cards. And so as I'm creating these cards, I may give them, you know, some extra special thoughts as I'm creating them. It is so rewarding to give a handmade gift to somebody. Okay, so that is the demonstration that I wanted to show you tonight on the Farmhouse Florals. There again, you cannot get this kit any longer, but if you were to subscribe for the September kit, you could get the refills for this kit, which probably wouldn't be a good thing because you wouldn't get the stamps and you wouldn't get the ink spot. So here are the 2 cards that we did tonight from this lovely paper pumpkin kit. And here's the matching coordinating envelope. And then my favorite card, which we did not do for the sake of time, that's my favorite card. Okay. Before we close out, I want to just share a couple of things with you. When I posted about this live tonight, I wanted to kind of enlighten you on what's going on with Stampin' Up. Stampin' Up is making some product changes. A company needs to do this from time to time to stay current with their products and to be competitive with the trends and things that are going on in the market. As a demonstrator, we don't always know the whys and the wheres and hows and all of that stuff, but I trust Stampin' Up. I trust their judgment, and I want them to be around for a long, long time. I want to do this paper crafting passion for a long time. So one of the changes that they're going to be making is they're going to be getting rid of the red rubber stamps. They're having trouble with the product, so they can't get the red rubber. So they will be phasing these out in 25 and 26. I suspect by the time we get the annual catalog next May, we will only have in the catalog the photopolymer stamp sets, which in my opinion are much better anyway, because you can see exactly where you're stamping. When you have a red rubber stamp, I don't have one handy. I should have thought ahead and had one handy, but you can't see through it. The other change that we're going to be making is the stamps are no longer going to be coming in this nice little folder. What they're going to be coming in is something like what we get our dies in. In just a minute, I'm going to step away from the camera to get one of these. the new packaging will be something like this. So the stamp set will come in this flatter envelope-like, and it will take up a lot less room. Now, obviously, the samples that I've been shown, the insides just slide in very easily. You can see where this one's kind of tight, but they have redesigned the packaging, so we will be able to store them like this rather than like this. So look at that. You'll probably get, I don't know, maybe four stamp sets on your shelf compared to just one. So that's something new that they're going to be phasing in. And also the markers, they are phasing out the markers, not the blends. What this is this is a marker. Okay, it's much like the markers that we grew up with, you know, that had the writing tip on one end and then the brush on the other end. What they have come out with since then is they have come out with blending brushes, and there's always a light and a dark, and when you use these, there's no lines. So like, for example, it's the same thing. There's a writing tip on this end, and then there's a brush on this end. The orders, or the demand for these has not been there. So they are going to be discontinuing these. So if you're one of those people that likes these markers, which I do, I like the markers, but I do have to admit I find myself using the blends more. But anyway, those markers that they are discontinuing have gone on the clearance rack already, last chance list. So if you're interested in getting some of those, I would recommend you get those also. Now, I want you to remember that the biggest thing for right now is, for August, is that anything that's got the new in colors in it, that they are 15% off. So I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. I've enjoyed you spending time with me. I've enjoyed showing you the paper pumpkin kit. I hope you seriously have enjoyed it and maybe even consider giving it a try. It would be a wonderful gift to give somebody also. I know I've given some of these as gifts to people, and they have really, really enjoyed them. So like I said, I'm gonna wrap this up. I am Darla Tweeten from Iowa, an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I wish you happy stamping. God bless.